It's the first part of April 2023. I'm going to show you how I'm fixing this floor here. I'm making this floor level in this old farmhouse. This is, you're going to have to pardon the mess. It's a live-in gut job, meaning the owners are living here and they're gutting the whole thing. So they got a camper out there on the side, but still they got a bunch of stuff around. So the floor is not 100% stripped, but the part that I was able to get stripped, you can see behind me that I'm reframing that and making it level. And I'm going to show you how I do that. So in case anybody needs more context for this video, so you know where I am, you can go back in the first part of January 2023 and I made a video showing this remodel, but I only showed the outside. Now I'm showing the inside. So there's my laser down there, okay? So last summer, we framed out here, we framed the addition, the garage, the bedrooms. Okay, new addition, you know, pretty nice little addition here. Foundation wasn't lovely. It was pretty bad. And so I took and I laser leveled the foundation at the time when we framed the addition, okay? So I can go around, because the offset on my laser is 6 inches. Now I don't know if I can get it to where you can see that, but the offset on my laser, there you can see that's 6 inches, okay? So I could walk anywhere around this addition and I could measure to my laser, and it should say 6 inches everywhere, which it will, because we went through and we laser leveled the foundation before we framed it, because the foundation crew didn't do a very good job. Not a good job enough for me to frame on. So we took a lot of time and we laser leveled this floor. So now what we're doing this time is, now I've convinced the homeowner, after he see the bad shape that his existing floor is in, I take my laser level at that 6 inches like I showed you, and then I shoot this laser line all the way through the house, okay? And now I'm going to top a frame, and I'm going 6 3/4, because I showed you my offset to laser from top of subfloor was 6 inches. Well, 6 plus 3/4, I need to go 3/4 down to top of frame, and that's 6 3/4. Okay, so what I did is I took and I shot the laser everywhere, and I took a string line. The owner helped me. We took and chalk lined everything. Okay, so now to the top of my framing, my new framing, I got to be 6 3/4 everywhere, all the way around. So I can walk around this whole floor, and I can measure anywhere that I've framed, and I'm 6 3/4. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, you can kind of see, I'm going to stand back here so you can see what this floor was doing. So right here, see on the very first joist as you walk in, it's probably, I don't know, a 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch out of level, okay? And I can put my tape right there, and I can show you that I'm 6 3/4. Okay? Except for we can't really see the laser, because now that I opened the door, it's hard to see the laser with the light. But let me close the door and I'll show you again. That's the only bad thing about the laser, is when there's too much light, you can't see it. But actually, it's not because there's no light. It's just like, you see the laser right there on the stud? I don't know why the camera's not focusing, but it's not focusing. Let me see if I can fix it. There it is. So see the laser right there on the stud? It's not going on the door because it's being blocked by one of those studs in that wall. but then it goes over there and you can see it again, okay? So anyway, but now let's look at the floor. Like I told you, that first joist was about 1/4 inch low. Well, now look clear over here on this one. Let's come over here, come over here, come over here to this saggy, awful, nasty spot. Okay, right here. What am I looking at? That's this one. Okay, that ain't no 1/4 inch right there. That's almost, it's 1.5 inches. Let me focus my camera again. Okay, that's 1.5 inches, okay? And then how do I know I'm level? Because I could take my tape measure and I can just find 6 3/4 off the laser level, okay? So I'm right there, 6 3/4. That's the nice thing about doing this floor with the laser level. You can find that line anywhere as long as there's nothing else in the way. And so that's why I snapped the line along the wall, because sometimes I have to move the laser, because if there's something in the way and it won't shine through, then I have to move the laser. Like for example, I had put it on that platform and I built the laser up to where it would get my chalk line all the way around the building. And then there's another place I put it over there by that heater where it's the same height and it gets the chalk line. So you could move the laser as many times as you want. What would be really cool if you had 2 or 3 lasers and you just put them on the same point, and then you wouldn't have to move them at all. Okay, but if you don't have a laser, you could do, I've done this with a water level before. Water level takes longer, but water level, you can make a water level for about $60, but the laser level is $700, okay, if you get a good one like I have. Now, I'm not done, because the homeowner still needs to rip out that bathroom, rip that floor off, and I think he will now, because now that they've seen how far I am ahead of them, they're going to want to get that bathroom out of there so I can keep ripping this floor off. So the reason I was able to convince the homeowner that this floor needed to be laser leveled is because when we were putting in, let me jump back here so you can see what we've done. So what we done, you see that beam right there? We put that in because there was a wall right there, a bearing wall, and they didn't like it, so they said tear it out. Okay, well, I can do that, but that's a huge micro lamp. So you see how it goes from there, clear over to there, 3-ply micro lamp. So once we lifted that thing up and I showed the homeowner, I said, hey, I'm putting my beam level. It's going to be laser leveled. And then once we started measuring to the floor, it's like, well, how come it's different from the floor? Well, the floor's not level. So floor will be level now. And I had to do my new framing on top of the old unlevel floor, just because that's the stage they were at. And I said, look, I can frame your new office like you want it, and you can leave the floor unlevel and like it was before, which is, that's not ideal. It's not the right thing to do. It's the wrong thing to do. Or you could laser level it. I said, either way, I frame it and I can laser level the floor either way, whether that wall's there or not. I don't have to remove that wall. I just have to do some additional blocking. And then we're going to have to do all this other existing floor. We're going to have to strip all that and bring that laser level right on through there so that they have a nice level floor and their grandkids can play marbles on here. And, you know, they won't just go shooting off into one corner. They'll stay in the center like they should. And what else could I tell you about this little project? We took out all the bearing walls because they just didn't like them. They wanted it open. That one came out. And this one over here too. Same story. Another great big beam we put in there because they didn't want this bearing wall either. So it's gone. They do have remnants of the old wall just kind of hanging there because the electricians are going to pull all that out and redo that. But So all this was stripped. We reframed the whole roof, and then you can't really see. I mean, if you've seen my other video, you've seen the outside, and you've seen it looks like a brand new house, but you can't really tell what we've done in here. You kind of can from right there. You see how I had to make the roof level. You can't really see it at all. Let me see if I can jump back here. This is a new little addition here on the sunroom. Okay, there you go. You can see that now. See the rafters? So the old roof was way down there, and it wasn't plain in it, which is horrible. So we built it up, and we made it plain all the way across the whole roof, both sides. So we did that last summer. And so anyway, they're still in the nightmare phase of construction, and don't know when they're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but every time I do something, they get closer. Here's my tools: my skill saw, Milwaukee; my Sawzall, Milwaukee; my nail gun, my Max nailer. Have the best tools if you're going to attempt something like this. If you don't have a nail gun, don't do this job, because you can't sit there and bang on it and hold it up to the laser level. It's just going to fall. So get a nail gun. Anyway, another valuable video brought to you by Cheney Residential Carpentry and Construction. So if somebody needs the floor tore out of their house and re-leveled, I'm not recommending that you do this. Don't do this. Bulldoze your house down and start new. But if you absolutely have to, right here, I've done several floors like this. So if you need a hand, I'll go anywhere in the United States if the price is right. So anyway, we'll see you till the next video.